Guys, remember the old generator we got from our old friend Harry Benjamin? That generator ran like a top when we had it. Well, the thing is, those 3 bins that we're having put up, we don't have power to them yet. Our local power co-op's working on that, but it's just not happened yet. So since 2 bins are full of peas, we're gonna try using this generator. We got an electrician over there right now, and he's getting the place all wired in. He said, yeah, let's give it a shot. That thing should do it. So he'll go over this generator, make sure it's putting out the right amperage and everything, and that the hertz and everything are correct. We'll get it back to the 1800 RPM. But we're gonna get it fired up here, make sure it's running, get battery, fuel, everything, haul it over on the Cummins, that old girl, 2nd gen, and then we'll pull it off and drop it on the spot. So let's get this engine running. She runs good. Man, I think it runs nice. Old Continental engine. Flathead, I think. Pretty cool. All right, back at the bin site. Got O'Neill Electric here. They're putting in all the power. So we went ahead and put some posts in for them. They've got a breaker box plus a meter. And that's going right here. And then over here we'll have the transformer somewhere in this area, possibly over there. The single phase is coming in the primary from way over there. They're gonna put power poles in. It's gonna tie into the transformer, which will then tie into this system. The generator, which is sitting on the Cummins right there, will drop somewhere in this area if we need it. There's a chance we could have single phase power running at this place in 2 weeks, but we'd like to kick some air through these bins since there's peas sitting in them, just to let them breathe a little bit, get the heat out of them. I'm trenching with the Ditch Witch, Honda powered, twin. It's a Leg Arms brainchild. It's actually doing a pretty good job, but it leaks a lot of oil out of all the gearboxes. I gotta go top up all the fluids again. Seals are out, its chain pops off every little bit, but making good progress. So I'm gonna keep ripping at this thing. Let's make the stretch. This is for the unloading augers on the other side. I'm gonna go all the way down. And that last bin is not finished yet. The building crew had to jump ship. Some things came up, they had to get out of here. We're doing a little bit of work right now, like say Leg Arms is, getting the unloading tube kind of set up and everything. And then there'll be another crew coming in 2 days with the rest of the parts to finish that bin and have ready. But these 2 are full. So how we're sitting is all the bins are trenched. The electrician is wiring them in. I got the Ditch Witch right here running. I'm gonna go ahead and service it, grease and oil and everything. There's a couple seals that are out on one of the gearboxes, so it just pukes oil out. So I'll keep adding it along and get through this, but we got a trench from right here where the new power line is gonna be put in. There's gonna be a pole right there. It's gonna be underground from that up to the bin. My dad is in Clifford. This wheat's like 98% ready to harvest, 97. And this top up here is pretty ripe. He's gonna go ahead and just chop out a section here so that way I'm not burying crop. You're going through it. And that way we'll have a fresh place to go through. Plus I won't hopefully start any fires with this thing, you know. You never know. But we're making good progress, so I'm gonna service this thing and let's keep trenching. It's gonna be a while. Beautiful morning. Time to go do some trenching. Still working on it. Fortunately, we're not trenching the half mile that we originally thought. It could have been a several day process, and I just don't personally think that trencher would have survived. But this distance we're doing right now, I think we'll make it. It's just, it's gonna be a lot of fixing stuff on and off, but we're getting there. I got some tools and a bolt that broke, and let's get it done. Let's get power to those bins. Here we are, right where I left it. It was windy yesterday. That's why I didn't do much filming. It was windy, and the dust was swirling, and yeah, it was a good time to wear a mask. But I've got this auger right here that's freewheeling, you can see, because the bolt sheared, but I got a bolt, we'll put it in it. This chain does like to come off a lot. I'm sure the spring, there's a tensioner spring in here. It's probably weak. It probably could use a little more tension on that thing. The sprockets are all kind of wore down. They're starting to cup the chain. It's just got a lot of time on it, but it's running, and we've only got to get to right there. We can do it, guys. Okay, it's time. Who wants to learn how to run a Mutant Ditch Witch? Well, first thing is make sure your battery's charged. I'm not gonna check it. Let's just assume it is. Second thing is replumb the entire fuel system. Get rid of the glass bulb. Put a fuel line from the fuel tank all the way to the front. Put an automotive electric fuel pump in there that overpowers the carburetor and the small engine. Way too much for it, but it works. Make sure you lift the hood up. And then this little guy here, this little pigtail lead, just like tap that on something metal. Kicks on the fuel pump for a few seconds, primes the system. That's good. That's all you need. Take the gear. Maybe a little choke. It'll start, don't worry. It's a champ. I've never had this thing fail on me. Give it a second. It wants to. Oh, it's gonna start now. Guaranteed. Jeepers! Alright, let's dig. So I found if I sit backwards with this thing, the dust doesn't blow in my face as bad. Wind's blowing that way. Well, that's darn. On the flip side, I gotta think of all the controls backwards. But I already did when I fly the drone, so I'm used to that. There's a rock in there right now, and I'm barely skimming it. So I gotta try to work my way past this rock. Some of these rocks I'm not gonna get out with this thing. Which means we're probably gonna have to have a backhoe brought in and dig them out. But fortunately, I got a backhoe lined up that'll do it later this afternoon. So if I can finish dredging this, I'll bring the backhoe and get that done. All right, let's keep rolling. I don't think I've ever hated rocks so much in my life. Look at that. One little rock. Just happened to jam just right. Pops the chain off. All right, let's put this back on. That little Honda's making a lot of heat. It's getting kind of hard to sit here. Oh, hey, look at that. Ah, there. So we're putting the floor in. The bin crew had to take off and do a few things, but they're standing over there talking. Don't mind them. I'll just do my thing, you know. Anyways, we put the floor in as far as up there. We just got to cut that out. Then we got to do the flashing, put it all around the bin, bolt it up, put a couple screws in, and we are done with this bin for the most part, besides one thing outside. I haven't been filming much because I've been working. All right, let's get back to work. Starting to look like a bin, isn't it? It's putting the flashing around, putting all the bolts in, then we'll go around, tighten them all up, and then we'll take the screw and anchor it down into the aeration floor. Chad is over here. He's putting bolts on, putting the panel on, or the flashing, and then Wiggles is outside, putting the bolt through. But they only got a little bit more to go on this. I'm outside kind of doing some cleanup spots in the bin, and figured you guys should see at least a little bit of this. Gas. Go get some gas. Nice little brake to stretch and breathe. At least I got the Defender here, so I don't have to walk very far. A lot happening. Oh man, it doesn't. No, I'm not distracted. I just noticed a nail thing on the road that would have popped a tire. But let's go back to what I was talking about. Take two. A lot happening. They're finishing up that grain bin over there. Electrician's got almost all that wired in over there. Turns out the generator is not going to run those fans very well, so we're not going to do that. Gave it a try, it spun it, the fan shut off. He wasn't really excited about the way the generator was running, so it runs good. It's just not quite the right consistency of voltage, I think, or amperage. I'm not sure. I think it's the amperage side of things that's got the issue. So that's okay, because we're gonna get single phase power in here real soon. Trencher is right over there. It's about halfway. It's gonna be tough coming through here, but we're gonna do it. We're working on that, and we're about to do something pretty awesome. We're gonna go ahead and move those bad boys with the 844. So we gotta take chemical shuttles that are full of water. That's what we use to hold these things down this summer. We're gonna get the bucket of this big old loader right up against it. This thing lifts about 17,000, 18,000 pounds. These are about 7,000 pounds. Shouldn't be an issue lifting them. But we gotta boom that bucket tight against the frame. Pick these up, we gotta drop the skid on the bottom. These came with skids. We don't want them because we don't need it. It's going on concrete. Pick it up, carry it over to our nice slab over here we had poured, drop it down, and be in business. Let's get to work. So right now, he's gonna grab the skid steer, which he's doing, take that little frame, pull it out of the way, then he can just drive the loader straight forward and onto the pad. A little sketchy, probably. It's okay, we're making it work. So I don't know about you guys, but I think I've said this before. I really, really like that loader. It has come in handy so many times. It's just awesome. I know this is not the right way to do it, but if it gets the work done, that's all that matters, right? We're trying to be safe. I'm keeping my distance, you know, at least 6 feet or so, more than that. But he's doing a good job, and he'll put it on top, and we'll go get the other one, get the bit, and drill some holes and anchor it down. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. Man, that thing's a beast. Let's just hope a hydraulic hose does not break. Because if a hydraulic hose breaks, that's gonna be a bad day. Let's not have that. This isn't exactly where it's gonna go. We'll have to shift it over a little bit because there's quite a bit of a gap here. We'll take some measurements, make sure everything is good to go, then we'll anchor the holes. But that went pretty smooth. Actually, that was very smooth. And you could not have asked for a better situation as that turned out so. But we have one more to go, so that's a little nerve-wracking. All right, we'll stand here and talk while he's doing his thing. He knows what he's doing.
Might need to change the pants there. It was like turning and the whole thing was starting to lean a little bit. It's on the concrete. I'm out. It's all good. Now it's leg arm's turn. If he tips that over, he cleans the shop from now on. All right? We're just gonna settle this right now. And we'll fire him. But he's gotta clean it first. Brad, as many of you may know, is Wiggles. Doing a fine job. Chad, who's Shiggles, he's doing a good job too. But he was been trenching. Dad's taking off the skid, leg arms around it. I suppose I better buzz the drone around it. Beautiful. He did a good job. Leg Arms is an awesome operator. We're all pretty good operators. At least we think so. But no, that's it's just something you gotta finesse, be real careful with, but it's sure nice having the machinery to get the job done. If nothing else on our farm, I would lift that thing like that and carry it around. Bob's Big Bud Bin Boom. But we don't have that set up right now. All right, I'm gonna go talk to these guys. They're putting in a water line. And I gave them a call and said, hey, you got a backhoe available? We got some rocks that we cannot trench out. And they said, sure, we'll come dig them out for you. We've helped them out a few times. They're helping us out. It's a good deal, but I'm gonna go find out and see how they're sitting. Okay, good. Got it figured out. Yeah, they were just, weren't sure exactly rocks like that. So I just told them, dig a big hole, pull it all out. As long as it's the same depth as what we trenched, we'll bury it back in. But we have no way of pulling those rocks out that are down there with the trencher. It's just gonna break that trencher apart, smacking those rocks. There goes Dad. Anyways, lots happening. That's a good sight. Look at that. Oh man, that's awesome. So the $1 million question we have is, are these guys gonna get along? They already got a space between them, as you can see. Look at that. Now we have actual columns of concrete where the legs are gonna go. So we will shimmy these things with this high lift jack. We saw it done, it's not that hard. You just kind of lift a little bit and they skid. Move them into place, get it all measurement where we want it to be, and then drill the holes, put the concrete bolts in, and secure them for the next 150, 200 years. I'm gonna be long gone, but hopefully they'll still be here. Well, I got this loader here. I'm gonna use this thing to bury some of that underground secondary cable we put around the backside of those bins. It's ready to go, so let's use this thing. Much nicer. Well, I'll leave the fine tuning up to that girl. I think it'll work a lot better. Loader's kind of hard to get close to those bins because the fans and the ladder sticking out, and I don't want to crush anything. That's just not really what I want to do today. So, not going to happen. How is this possible? The chain came off. It's like 3 feet left. 3 feet out of like a quarter mile of ripping. Maybe not that far, but feels like it. But if you guys get a side-by-side, definitely check out the Can-Am Defenders. But get a winch on the front. That winch is awesome. We keep using it over and over again. I'm gonna park it over here, hook the winch to this sprocket here. There's a spring that compresses inside. Pull this back with the winch, then we'll get the chain on, then let the tension go, and then I'll finish that 3 feet that we didn't get done yet. Oh, it's this close, this close. I need a backhoe. Backhoe would dig that out. We actually have one. It's just not running very good right now. You guys know about that stuff. It's just things like that that are just old. We don't use them very often, very rarely, but when we do, it'd be nice if they worked. That one needs some work. Okay, let's get this chain on. That went on really easy. We were able to compress this all the way back to there with that spring that's in there to add tension to the chain. That winch worked like a charm. Legarms had a trick though. You got to hammer it while you winch it, and then it sucks it in tight. We got it on quick. Let's fire this up. Let's finish this little bit right there. I'm gonna cut through like this, then I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna come and finish cleaning out this one and cut across like that. We might have to dig this corner out depending on how tight they can bend that cable. I don't know what the angle is available on primary. It's probably pretty tight, but we also have a backhoe available in the area from a local water crew that's putting in a water line, and they've been gracious enough to come over and dig out a couple rocks for us along. We did some favors for them throughout the last 2 years, them being here, so they're repaying us by just bringing the backhoe by whenever we need it. So they're using it most of the day, but they'll come by again, and if I have to, I might have them just dig this corner out to get a little bit more smoother transition for that cable when it lays down in there. And then we got to get some sand to lay down. This is a little around 3 feet deep. I really like a little deeper, but that's as much as that bad boy will do. But we're gonna use sand, so when we lay the primary in the ground, we'll put sand on top of it, and that'll protect it when the heavy trucks drive across for the next 500 years. There won't be trucks then, they'll be hovering then. That's true. So, won't matter. Definitely gonna have to dig a little bit out with the shovel, but the majority of it's out with this thing. Just gotta walk this thing up and down, really make sure there's no rocks left in it, get the sand ready, and then when Rice River Electric's out here, they'll install the cable and put the transformer right over there. Woo! Done with the trencher, hallelujah. Actually, Chad did a lot of that. He did at least half of that. I did about the other half, so it wasn't all me, but that's good. And thank goodness this thing survived. Man, it's a beautiful machine.